Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a very different video. I don't know if very, but it's definitely different. I just filmed this video in Spanish and I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to tell you all the same things in English, but I'm going to try, at least. And I know you already know by the title of this video, but today we're going to talk about this guy over here. This is the BRAUN SILK EXPERT PRO 5 and is a smart IPL, so it's hair removal at home. And I am so excited because let me tell you something, I am a hairy gal. I suffer a lot with it. I can't do wax. I've tried too many times. I've had my skin burned, I have my skin just ripped from my body, and it was hurtful as so. I'm not going through that again, ever again. My pigmentation around my lip is because I did waxing and they peeled off my skin, literally. So I'm basically deadly scared of wax. I'm never going through that again. Those little machines that just pull your hairs out, I am scared of those as well. Like, it hurts so much for so long. At least wax is just one, right? These, I don't know how you guys do it. I have a lot of friends that swear by those things. I don't know how you do it. I don't understand it. I only do my eyebrows with thread and tweezers. It's the only place where I do that. I do sometimes on my upper lip. Sometimes I just do dermaplaning on my face, so I don't really need to do that, but I definitely do thread in my eyebrows. I remember I did before my wedding, someone recommended to do that all around my face, and I am so hairy, like especially around here, and that hurt so much. I remember tears falling down my face, and the guy was like just doing it, and he was like, dude, your tears are going like in my thread and I can't work. And I was dying. Never ever, I wouldn't recommend that to my worst enemy. Like, it hurts so bad. But I do use a little razor for my whole face. I think I've shown you that before. I think it's a very popular thing now, so no mystery there. But for the rest of my body, the only thing that I can use is a razor, and that doesn't mean that I love it. It just means that it is the only thing that I get to use without losing my skin, basically. That being said, I do get a lot of pain out of razors because I get all of the razor bumps that you can imagine. My pores get infected. It's literally a torture for me every time I have to remove any type of hair from my body. So laser was something that was always in my mind, always in my top of mind. Every time I see a discount in a clinic, I'm always like, this is my time, and then I go there and I'm too cheap to do it, or I don't have the money, so I've never done it. So anyway, last December my husband decided to gift me this guy, and I was so excited to finally have this. This is a very expensive thing, guys. This is not sponsored. It was a gift from him, but it was bought with our money, you know? And I was so excited because I was like, finally I'm getting to do this and I don't have to go through the awkward part, because it was awkward for me going to a clinic and just like open my legs and ask them to do it. But then I was very scared that I was going to get pigmentation, that I was going to burn myself, that I was going to get blind, all of these little things, and I was like, oh, do I want to use it? It is an expensive thing. Now, if you compare it to the laser clinics, it's not going to be as expensive if you have in mind that you can do it in your home and that you can do as many sessions as you like in, you know, like, it's not going to last forever, but you can do definitely more than you can in the clinic, and you don't have to go through all the hassle. Of course, it's probably not going to be as effective, and there's some places where you cannot use this, and there's also some kind of skin tones and hairs that this doesn't work in. I can't speak for the lasers that you go and have done in the clinics because I don't do it, and I am definitely not an expert of this. I am just a consumer, and I'm telling you my experience as a consumer. If you want real information, I really suggest you go and find actually credible information from people that work in the industry, or at least know what they're talking about. I am going to try to leave in the description some links for places where I suggest you go and look for real information. This is just my experience, so take all of this with a grain of salt as well. So first things first, this is not a laser. I know I've been referring to the laser clinics, but this is not a laser. This is IPL, which is different. I'm not going to exactly explain why it's different because I told you I'm not an expert and I don't want to give you the wrong information, but it is different. And this edition comes in a pack like this one, which I think is absolutely divine. I love the gold and white. This was also, I think, a collaboration with Gillette, with Venus, because it came with a razor as well. That is long gone. Another thing that I wanted to tell you is this is not going to be before and after kind of video, because I feel that needs a little bit more time to actually be fair with the product and let you know exactly how it worked. And I've been using it for about 6 weeks. Tomorrow I have to use it again, and that will be my 7th week. And I have seen results, but I think it could be a lot better. So I'm going to do a second part of this video where I actually show you the before and afters, and that one is going to be more focused on that instead of explaining all of these. So I'm going to take these out of the way and just tell you my first impressions and pros and cons that I see from this device. I read the whole thing just because I was very scared about getting pigmentation, specifically because, as you know, I am very prone to hyperpigmentation, and I was very scared. So you cannot be tan while you're using this. You have to not be tan for like a week or 15 days before, and again 10 to 15 days after that. But because you use it every week, then that means no tanning at all. And because I live in Australia and we were in summer, I was very afraid of getting pigmentation, so I am only using it in my underarms and in my bikini, because none of those are tan. My legs, if I go out in shorts or in a skirt or in a dress, are going to get tan. And because I know which foundation I'm using, I know that my face is also a little bit tan, and I really didn't want to risk it, so I'm not using it yet on any other areas other than my underarms and my bikini. I told you that I am very hairy, right? Not as much in my legs. I feel that my legs, the hairs are very thin, so I can get away with not removing my hair as often. I'm just going to be honest here. And if this is TMI for you, then you're welcome to skip this video, but I want to keep it as honest as possible. In my underarms, I would remove my hair in the morning, and then by 5 o'clock already had a shadow or like some hairs peeking through, so it didn't even last me a complete day. And that meant that if it was summer, I had to, you know, like remove the hair every single day, and that left me with dark skin under my arms because, you know, like the razor makes you have pigmentation for some reason that I don't know. And also in my bikini I would get major razor bumps, major infection, those little like infections in your pores that are horrible and very painful, and of course very uncomfortable for your, you know, life. And one thing that I found from the very much reviews that I watched before buying these was that they said that this helped a lot reducing those razor bumps or those little bumps. And I was very excited because even if it didn't help with the hair, it was going to help with that. And you know, that was the thing that was more uncomfortable for me. Having said that, I've been using it for around 6 to 7 weeks now, and the first experience that I had, I haven't shown you the device yet, so this is how it looks like. It comes in this little bag. It's very light, very easy to use. You just have to plug it in, click in this button over here, and it will light up. and then you just use this big button to do the light pulsations. You can even push it and leave it there and then just drag it across and you'll get one. That's one way to use it, or you can just like click and let go and then move the device. That second method is the one that I recommend the most. I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. But so it comes like this with a big nozzle. I don't know what the name of this is, but it comes with the big one and the sensor, and then it also comes with a second one, which is a small one. I haven't really used this. I used it once and I thought it was too slow, and for the areas that I'm using it, this one is way faster and better. Look, it takes me around 5 minutes to do both underarms and my bikini. It is very fast and very easy, and just thinking about having to make an appointment, go to the laser clinic. I don't have a car, for example, having to wait for them, you know, like for the actual appointment, and then coming back just for 5 minutes. It's just driving me crazy. So being able to do this in my house without having to talk to anyone, without having to deal with anyone, it's just a blessing for me. And that's definitely one of the pros I see this. Yes, it might not be as good in the end. I cannot say that yet because, as I told you, I haven't completely finished, and it says that you can see results from week 4, and yes, you can, but do not think that after week 4 you can stop shaving. It may happen for you, but it didn't happen for me. I'm going to tell you how it worked for me, but it's definitely not like that. I wish. So when I started using it, I started to feel that the hair wasn't growing as quickly anymore, which was great for me. That was the first thing that I noticed, but then I kind of felt that it accelerated again, and then it was growing as quickly as always, and I thought like, oh, maybe this isn't working for me, or I don't know what's happening. But then now what I have, especially in my bikini line, I feel, no, everywhere, but especially in the bikini, I can notice that I have like patches. So I have patches where it doesn't grow hair anymore at all, and I do have patches where it does. So one good thing that I really like about this is, and it's mainly the reason why I chose this one, is that it has a sensor that determines your skin tone and how sensitive you are in certain areas, and it adjusts the intensity level of the light, protecting you from injuring yourself or to get pigmentation or things like that. It doesn't mean 100% is going to avoid it. You have to be careful, of course, and you have to lose your reason and your logic to do things, but it will protect you. So if you're working in a darker area, for example, if your armpits have a very dark area that this should not be used in, then it just won't go off, right? It will turn red and it will not activate the light, which is great because you don't have to be thinking if you're going to injure yourself while doing it. Do have 3 levels of intensity, so it has 10, right? But you can go 3 levels down to make sure that you're not being too hard on yourself. So if you activate the light and you feel it's too high for you and it's too painful, you can lower it down to a more sensitive setting, if that makes sense. That's the way I started. I started in the most sensitive level and I started building from there. So I did not start in the highest level and then go down. I did it the other way around, and I do use it in the highest level now. But keep in mind that this adjusts itself to different areas. So for example, in the bikini, it usually calms down. You don't have to tell it anything. It just knows that depending on the skin tone, it's going, I will say the skin tone, but I have no idea what it is, that it's going to be more sensitive than others, right? So you can level down from that, but you cannot level up, which is great because that's the device protecting you. So about the pain specifically, I know you guys want to know about that. It is going to be different for everyone. It is going to be different depending on your hair type, on your skin type, on your skin color, where you're doing it. I have areas on, for example, my underarms where I don't really feel it and it's in the max. But I have areas in my bikini where hair is a lot, and it's not even in the highest level. And I do consider myself someone that really stands a lot of pain. Also, another thing that I really think that changes is depending on your cycles. There's days of the month that you're more sensitive in your skin, like you can stand less pain than others. There are other days where things doesn't hurt as much, and that's normal. Because you do it every week, there's going to be weeks where it hurts more than others. So what I do is I just do it as I always do, and if I do one light pulsation that hurts too much or that I feel I am being too sensitive, then I just use the sensitive setting, because I really think that you bought this for yourself and you can use it in your home. You're better off using it for more days, more weeks, a longer treatment, instead of just injuring yourself by being desperate. This is not going to help you in the long run. Don't be a hero. If you can stand the highest setting, then go for it. But if you feel it's too hard, even if you can't stand it, if you know when something is not right, then don't do it. You know, like, just lower the setting a little bit and it's still going to work. It just might take you another extra week. That's alright. You bought this and this is in your home. So I don't know, that's my recommendation. Another thing that I wanted to tell you is about your eyes. So I read this whole thing back and forth, and I think it should give you a higher warning or be more serious about it. It has like a 1-2 sentences about it, but because I saw so many reviews and so many videos about these devices, your eyes, you have to take care of your eyes. Basically, looking directly to the light can permanently damage your eyes. This says to not use it in your eyebrows or anywhere near the eye, or to not look directly to the eye, right? So don't put it like this and just activate it. It won't go off because this has 2 sensors, so unless it is flat on the skin, it shouldn't go off. It says that if it goes off like that, you should not use it because it's broken, and you should contact your retailer. Yeah, it won't go off, but even if you're using it and it's flat, don't look directly to it because it can damage your eyes. In other devices and other places, it says that you should use sunglasses, UV protection. It doesn't say it, and I couldn't find it anywhere that you needed to use it, but definitely do not look at the light, do not look at the device. It doesn't say it like that, but I think that damaging your eye is something that should be taken more seriously. And you know, not everyone is smart enough to go and look at reviews and look at the risks that you're going, you know, before buying a device or before using it. So they really should be more cautious. Even if it says something about it, I think something like your eyes should be a little bit more explained as how damaging, like how serious can this be. So that's why I said that I prefer the method where you just pulsate the light. At least that's what I do. So I just activate it once and then move it, and then just do like this, activate it and then move it, you know, so I am not looking directly to the device. And because when I do like that, I kind of want to know where I'm going, right? I don't want to look at it. I don't want to risk my eyes because of this. So I just click and then drag and then click and then drag, and just with my eyes looking somewhere else. And even doing it like that takes me 5 minutes to do 2 underarms and my bikini. So I don't see why I would do it the other way and then risk damaging my eyes. But that's just me. That's what I think, and it's the way that I'm going to choose to recommend you guys to use it. Again, I am not an expert, so take all of what I say with a grain of salt. Guys, if you have any questions, if you have any, you know, doubts, anything, just leave it in the comments down below and I will answer all of them. And I'm also going to answer in the next video that I'm going to do, like with the actual before and after and everything. Look, remember that I told you that I would shave in the morning and then at night I would already have hairs growing in. Well, it is 8 o'clock at night. I shaved yesterday, and I know this is not a before and after, but so I have the dark, you know, like because of shaving, but this is how it looks now. So it does have a little bit of hairs there. You can't probably barely see it from there, but it does have a little bit, but this is definitely better than it was before that. So you can see that I still, oh, so something I haven't told you is that it didn't work for me, the razor bumps. If anything, I've seen more. I don't know if it's because, I don't really think it's because of the device. I think it's because I'm shaving more often than I used to, and so I'm being more conscious about them, but it hasn't really helped with it a lot at all. That's disappointing in a way, but at the same time, I do have patches where I have no hair growth at all. So I'm guessing with time, it will get better and better and better. But in my experience, I still get the razor bumps. I still get everything else that I used to get. I will let you know in the next video how that develops with time. And also, I have no idea how it works in the clinics. I have no idea how it works with laser. But another con of this device is that you cannot use it everywhere, if you know what I mean. So especially in your bikini, there's going to be areas where this guy is going to say, look, you cannot do it there. Okay? If you're thinking that you're going to get the same result with this that you do with waxing, then that's not the case, and this is not for you, because even though I would love that to be the case, so this is protecting you from places that you are going to be too sensitive, or that the skin should be treated in a certain way, and you should not do it by yourself. So I guess you could go to a clinic after and do a touch-up or something like that in certain places, but for me it's good enough, even if it's not a 100%, you know. That might reduce the cost of how many sessions do I need in the future, or I don't know, I'll tell you in the next video, but that was something that I wanted to let you know. And I don't know if I am forgetting anything. I am definitely out of light now. But again, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Let me know. Ask me everything. Ask me anything that you want to know about this device. Of course, I can only talk about this device because it's the only one that I have ever used, and I am not an expert or professional in any of these areas. I am just another consumer telling you my experience. Keep that in mind, please. So let me know, and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, Lin.